Alright lads, right then, first things first, I am well bunged up, so apologies for the slightly nasal sounding voice. Luckily I'm dry at the moment, but my nose has been running like a tap for the last few days, so I'm doped up on Lemsips and ibuprofen and all kinds of shit, but anyway. Got a load of stuff that I found in my mum and dad's attic that it kind of feels like a pickup because I haven't had them for years, so I'm going to show you that stuff, and show you the bare bones of what will become the games room. I'm finally going to have a dedicated games room. I'm really excited about that. So I'll show you where that is, although there's now in it at the minute, but that's where I'll show you the games. Something to do, isn't it? First of all, first of two kind of shout outs to Vampire Mike, Sega CD Universe. I got a present from my girlfriend for Christmas, and it's the Bad Cat calendar. And Vampire Mike's cat, Stella Delorio, is it? Stella something like that, is in this very calendar. And stupidly, I didn't think to get him to use his insider discount, but that's alright. He said that maybe you could get it signed by one of the stars of the calendar, and maybe I'll do that, but who knows. Stella is somewhere in August, apparently. I don't know exactly which one she is. I know she's black and white with little white paws, so it could be Friday the 22nd, it could be Wednesday the 27th, I don't know which one Stella is. It could be Sunday the 3rd, Slouching Kitty Hidden Whatchamacallit. Or it could be that one. There's lots of black and white cats with little white paws. I don't know which one Stella is, but she's on there somewhere. So that's a cool Bad Cat calendar there, with a link to the gaming community. How cool's that? So I think that's everything I've got to do in this room. By the way, I'm wearing two of my Christmas presents at the moment. This is a jumper that I got off my girlfriend with cool shoulder pads and elbow pads. Yes, I finally have a jumper with elbow pads. So cool, and it actually matches this hat that my mum knitted for me because she's got mad skills. Look at that. It's very baggy. I haven't figured out exactly how to wear it yet, so I'm just kind of ruffling it up. But that's my Christmas hat off my mum. So yeah, come through and I shall show you what I was going to show you. Right, so first of all, here is Nitro. I mean, just the most chilled out cat in the world. I mean, look at this thing. This is how it lies all day. It's just the most chilled out cat ever. Nitro, hello. Yeah, stretch. Stretch. Quite a long cat actually. Anyway, right, so yeah, let's go. First of all, I'll show you something up in the attic, because there is something that I picked up from Mum and Dad's attic that I've brought home, and hopefully you'll be able to see it up here. Hopefully it's not too dark. Right, let's set your camera up. Let's have a look. Is that too dark? I don't know. Well, we have a Sega Saturn 3D pad. For Nights into Dreams and I think a couple of other games, but this is basically brand new in box. This has not been used like ever. It's so basically a brand new Sega Saturn pad, so that's pretty sweet. I haven't actually spent much time playing with the Saturn, although I have a load of games for it, which I will show you soon. It's just a system that I started collecting for a while back. Hello. I never actually got really around to playing much. So there's that. Then there is this thing. Oh, first of all, some more Saturn goodness. I have Virtua Cop and a gun. So this all feels like pickups to me, because like I said, I haven't had these for a long time and never actually got around to playing them when I first bought them. So the Sega Saturn light gun Virtua Cop 2 is there. So that's cool to have. Really love the light guns, and one of the main benefits of having a dedicated games room set up in the near future will be that I finally get a CRT TV, so I can finally get light gun games on the charge, which I've missed out on this last generation because, you know, I've not had a Wii. Anyway, the other thing I've got is the Steel Battalion controller. Look at that bad boy. Now it's so big, I doubt it's actually going to live in the games room. That's going to be filled up with stuff, already. This thing is going to probably have to stay in the attic until it's used. But if you've never seen it before, this is the Steel Battalion controller, a game that was released on the original Xbox. I think it is the biggest joystick ever released for home console, or at least most complex. I know there's some arcade sticks that are fucking ridiculously huge with a huge base on them, but I think this is the most complex single game controller ever released for console. And it's just ridiculous. Yeah, it's really cool. So Steel Battalion, a game that I've not mastered as of yet. It also comes with these foot pedals. So very complex game. Yeah, very unique experience. So obviously a mech shooter, and just a video game experience like no other, really. So that will be fun. I will try and master it and make some videos of gameplay, although it may take several months for me just to learn how to use the bastard. Right, downstairs to the empty, soon-to-be game room. Okay, no editing, this is raw. I can't be asked to edit basically because it takes ages. So I'm just going to have to take you down with me. Oh. Right, so here we have what will be the game room. So it's well lit, but the sun never directly shines in this room, so that is obviously great for not getting any sun fade on your collection. So this will be dedicated games room. We've had to empty it out. There was a sofa in here that was far too big for the room, so it's going to be a two-seater sofa bed in here, so we can put people up as well as obviously just make best use of the space really. And lots of shelving units and kind of big TV system set up there. Oh, this is one of the presents I got from a girlfriend. We went to Alton Towers and a guy drew caricatures of us. I had the caricature that he did, which is black and white. I had that copied and shrunk, and then made 4 of them, and then coloured them in, so a sort of Andy Warhol-esque effect to the thing, and framed it. So that's going to go up in here somewhere. Carla and Ben, Alton Towers 2013. Yeah. Anyway, so this will be the games room. So pretty psyched about finally being able to work on that, and I'll certainly give you updates as to show you the progress of that. And I just can't wait to have a dedicated area for gaming. There'll be lots more videos coming when that occurs, because I don't know, it'll just feel like I definitely think I'll feel more motivated to make a lot more videos if I've got this dedicated games room, and it's just a joy to be in and show off and stuff and do things in and make videos in. So I'm sure there'll be loads more videos coming this year than there was last year. Kind of was a bit slow on the upload schedule last year. Anyway, bunch of Saturn games that I've got from my parents' attic. So again, these feels like pickups to me because most of them I've never played. And they've just been sat there gathering dust. Well, not gathering dust. They've been nicely stored away in boxes away from dust. Anyway, so Sega Saturn, we have Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, more to the point. And the Saturn is really where 2D games really started feeling arcade perfect, which was a phrase that was bandied about quite a lot. But with this game, it really does feel that way. You know, it really looks as nice as I remember the arcade looking. It looks brilliant on Saturn. Really great game. We all know the Saturn's 2D powerhouse, and Mortal Kombat, of course, is with its digitised graphics a great example of one of those. And I think this is, well, at the time, was the biggest roster of characters on any Mortal Kombat game, and it is complete. Not that any of you give a shit. But the box is a little bit raggedy, as those old Saturn boxes were terrible, weren't they, those cardboard ones? But there we go, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. Next one, Alien Trilogy, awesome game, really love this. Dead atmospheric, dead moody, you know, quite a spooky atmosphere, and yeah, just really effective game on the Saturn. I really enjoy this one, Alien Trilogy. Got to have it in the Saturn collection. High Octane, don't know anything about this. Looks like a Wipeout ripoff. I mean, it really does look exactly like Wipeout, but probably not as good. You see from the screenshots there. Yeah, But at least it's got a plastic case. So it might be a shit game, but it is in a plastic case. Which may or may not be its intended case. This is a bit weird. No, it's gotta be, it's the right shape. Okay, this is weird. It says Bullfrog. It's a Bullfrog game. But the case says Electronic Arts. So, what's going on there then? Is Bullfrog... Am I being an idiot here? Is Bullfrog a subsidiary of Electronic Arts? It doesn't say EA anywhere on the box. Anywhere on the box. Or does it? I don't know. But the cover perfectly fits this wider plastic box. I don't really know what the crack is with that. Anybody help me get to the bottom of that mystery? Leave me a comment and tell me what the crack is with that. Anyway, high octane. We have Daytona USA Championship Edition. Championship Circuit Edition. So I think, was this the second Daytona that came out on Saturn, or was this the first one? I can't remember exactly. But Daytona, a really cool game. Really solid driving physics. Obviously arcade racer, so not realistic in that sense, but it really felt really solid, the physics, the handling of the cars. And that's what really compels me about Daytona. Even though I've never quite mastered it, I always was a little bit better at playing Sega Rally, and yeah, Sega Rally, I can play that pretty well. Daytona I never quite mastered, but I always felt like it was there to be mastered. Like, it's, you know, some racing games feel a little bit floaty, a little bit uneven, a little bit unfair almost in in the way that they're controlled. You don't feel like you're really ever going to be able to progress that far in terms of controlling the game, but not this one. This one feels really solid racer, awesome game. I don't really need to go on and buy much Daytona classic game. Another classic, House of the Dead. This is House of the Dead. The first one, finally, we're into the plastic cases here, of course, so that's good. Again, really can't wait to get a game room set up with a CRT TV so that I can have the light gun games on the go, because me and the girlfriend really love light gun games, and we're going to have a lot of fun playing the two-player House of the Dead and various Saturn shooters, so really happy to have that. Ubiquitous title for the Saturn, dirt cheap everywhere you look, but you need to have it because it's one of the best games on the system, and it's Virtua Fighter 2. Not a huge fan of 3D fighters, but Virtua Fighter 2 is right up there. Absolutely love this game. It just feels more technical, it feels more like there's more options, more variety in what you can do, and the blocking system and the counters. It just gives it that extra depth. It really is. When you take the time to learn a few of the extra kind of aspects of the gameplay, it just comes alive, and it's a really fun game, fighter game. And you know, a lot of fighter games you don't really feel like you have to use your brain too much, but in this, like I said, there's a bit more strategy to it. And if you haven't played this, if you love 3D fighters, I don't know where you've been all your life, you need to play this. But again, yeah, dirt cheap for the Sega Saturn, everywhere you look, but just because it's sold so well and there's so many copies of it out there. But it's an essential title nonetheless, so Virtua Fighter 2. Yeah, in these terrible fucking cases. What were you thinking, Sega? Seriously. Alright. What else we got here? Wipeout 2097. Surprisingly good version of this on the Saturn. Obviously the Saturn wasn't as good at 3D graphics as the PlayStation, so it does look a little bit inferior to the PS2 version, but not that much. Am I thinking PS2, PS1? PS1? PS1, PS2 is the same as Dreamcast, isn't it? PS2. I can't even speak, I'm very ill. I'm doing well to even get through this video as far as I have. Anyway, Wipeout 2097 is probably my favourite of the Wipeout series. The handling was improved slightly over the first one, still had that great music, still had the great track design, wasn't too complicated, but it obviously had that, still got that great fighting element to it that gave it that, at the time at least, quite unique feel. Loved this game, brilliant on Saturn, and yes, das ist sehr gut, Wipeout 2097. In a plastic case again. So cool. Okay, next one. Virtua On Cyber Troopers. Really, to play this game properly, you need the two-stick controller, and it's yeah, another one that needs a bespoke controller. I don't have one of those, although I won't rule out getting one. Maybe I will. What can I say about this? Mech shooter. Yeah, very fun game. Sega at their best, really. Doing, you know, arcadey action, fun pick up and play type games. Virtual On, good stuff. Another copy of Virtua Fighter 2. Must have got it in a bundle somewhere. I can't remember why I've got 2 copies of that. There it is, Sega Rally, the other Sega racing game, and this is the one that I actually got fairly decent at. The drifts. Oh, it's all about the drifts. It's all about the skids and the drifts. It's just sublime. Sega Rally, say no more. Gorgeous graphics as well for the Saturn, and I mean, I remember that year. Was it 95? What year was this? 95 or 96, 94. Well, copyright 94. I don't know if it came out in 94, but anyway, the year this came out, a slew of absolute classics came out on the Saturn. It must have, it was 94. This, Virtua Fighter 2, Virtual Cop. Oh god, we were spoiled for choice on Saturn if you had one at the time. I didn't. I came into it a little bit later. And like I said, never really spent the time to get into the system, so good. I've got a lot to look forward to. We have X-Men, Children of the Atom. So another 2D fighter, another one that shows off the Saturn's 2D capabilities. Really gorgeous looking fighter. Really feels arcade perfect. If it's not exactly, at the time, there wasn't much to choose between them, but really fun game. X-Men Children of the Atom. And another copy of Alien Trilogy. We have Street Racer, which I did a Shocks and Shens on Saturn gameplay of this, which I'll link to in the low bar. That was really fun actually. The whole series is really fun. If you haven't seen those videos, just a series of really well put together gameplay videos of me and Shock16, one of my favourite channels in here, and a good friend. And yeah, if you haven't seen them already, go and click the link down below and see some gameplay action. This is a fun game, obviously a Mario Kart rip-off. Not quite as refined gameplay, but it's still very fun. And it's got that nice, that really pleasing on the eye kind of Mod 7 style graphics that Mario Kart has. And 8 players. Now you can do 8 players simultaneous on one console with this game. What has happened to video games that has retarded things to the point where a lot of racing games you can't even do co-op or versus rather on one telly, on the same telly? That is just complete bullshit. So for example, you get a Sega Rally on Xbox 360. I think this is one of the ones, I'm not sure, maybe it's not, but I know there are a lot of examples of games on modern consoles where you can't even play versus on the same telly on a racing game. That is insane. That's mental. With the extra power, what are they doing? What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? I mean, you expect it to go online to be able to play against other people. But then, of course, after a certain amount of years, the servers go down, you can no longer play online, so two-player gaming is out of the question on quite a lot of modern racing games. And other types of games as well, but I've noticed it primarily with racing games. It's just unacceptable! When you look at all games that run on the Sega Saturn, this is from what, 94, 8-player on the same screen. You see? That is the power of Saturn. Anyway, but yeah, it's a bugbear. It's a bugbear. Let's leave it at that. Quite a good race. Olympic Soccer, don't know anything about that. It's probably absolute gash. And Die Hard Trilogy, which I think is the better of the 2 Die Hard games on that generation's consoles. Not played it at all, so I can't really comment on it. But it looks to have some kind of shooting version, some kind of 3D third person thing and stuff. I don't know anything about it, so I won't talk about it. Oh yeah, and the 2 Steel Battalion games that I got with the controller that you've just seen. The first one obviously works standalone by itself. The second one is, I think, only a 2-player game. I'm pretty sure this is only a 2-player game. Obviously the servers are not operational anymore, but I think I'm right in saying yes, you can system link it. So you can you can system link with this game and play a 2-player Steel Battalion, but that would require obviously 2 of those ridiculously huge controllers that you've just seen in the attic, and I don't really know if I'll ever have a second one of those. If I do, well, I'll definitely do a gameplay video of it. You can bet your bottom dollar about that. Anyway, so that's it. Sort of pickups, checking into say hello, and look forward to game room stuff, which will be happening hopefully sooner rather than later, because I can't wait to get stuck into sorting that out. And that's it, guys. See you next vid. Bye bye.